I'm still getting very heavy group chat energy. And I don't know if that's like they're boys, but it could be a girl, it could be a boy, like a group of girls, a group of boys. I don't feel that their intentions are pure, if that makes sense. So let's have a look. I'm going to draw some lesson cards that I made the other night. And with the rest of these small decks, I want to make like names of people. This journey has shown me a lot of things. I know I'm really good at pattern recognition, except I kind of, when they showed me my history with, and my pattern with relationships, I didn't realize that all of the people I've dated, or all of the people that I've had these things with, this pattern with, that their names all start with J. And so when they were showing me these patterns and they were saying their name starts with J, their name starts with J, I'm like, oh, okay, easy, because my most recent thing, his name starts with J. But then when they started like deviating from the message, I was like, oh, are things changing? They're like, no, this is ancient history. And I'm like, oh. And so I'm like looking over my past and I was like, oh, literally, I think I wrote it down. We've got, and I'm not doing this in order, so you guys are not going to know, a Jez, a Jessie, a Jaden, a Jay, a Jay, a Jamie, a Joe. And so, yeah, I want to do name cards on these because, and girl names on them as well. I'm probably just going to ask ChatGPT to spit out a bunch of names and then I'll put them on each side of the cards. I feel that group chat energy is still here, like slimy vibes. So what is a lesson that we need to learn with this group chat vibes? Burnt toast theory does not just apply to day to day. You are exactly where you need to be in life. You know the burnt toast theory where it's like, oh, I'm late because my toast was burnt, or, oh geez. Also applies to things like, you know, like I've been feeling really behind in life just because of like everything that I've done, kind of, I've had a late start to life. Like I dropped out of high school because I was homeless, but I spent the majority of my life between dropping out of high school and enrolling in university in my like early to mid 20s, working 2 jobs. So, you know, recently when I applied for a position like within my work and I had to write like an expression of interest, I was like, actually, yes, I'm late in life when it comes to like, well, I feel like I'm late in life when it comes to like love and travel and like fun experiences. I'm actually really well served when it comes to the fact that I did start later in life when it came to university, because I don't think I would have been able to take in as much information. And also the fact that I was able to start my career so early meant that I was able to reach such heights in my career. Like I have worked in multinational, multi-industry roles, always in leadership, and always demonstrating my ability to, like, my pattern recognition has just been outstanding. Clearly not in love, but in work. Be honest with yourself. You saw the lack of effort, but your ego and your impatience accepted this. Now you're building resentment. You already knew from the start. And your tears are counted. The tears that people give are weighted against them as karmic debt. Okay, so I think it's very clear we are on the right path when it comes to what lesson we're looking for with these people, whether they are girls that are just like very masculine in their energy in this group chat, or guys who are just very sleazy, perhaps. Okay. But it's kind of like they're saying, you saw, you know what these people are up to because you've felt it. Maybe you think this person is your twin flame. Oh God, okay. But, hey, I'm not saying anything. It's the 7 deadly sins, the 7 layers of hell, seeker of wisdom, but also the 7 stages of life, which relate to the levels of awareness. So perhaps the people involved in this, they're just not aware. And it's hard to really blame people who are not aware. You've got that first level of awareness, which is like babies. They run off survival. They run off reacting to things. I'm not going to make up any stories. I'm going to keep this very broad. Someone needs to go to the dentist. Red string theory. If you've been like seeing threads and stuff, or like red string or red thread, it relates to your connection to your divine feminine. Damn, I didn't think this was going to be a twin flame reading. I don't know if this is related now. It could be, but the red string or finding threads, it's to remind you that you are always connected to your twin flame. And that no matter what you do, whether you try and cut the cord or you try and ignore it, you will always be connected to this person because they are your person. Whereas with like a soulmate connection, like if you've like run out your course and you've done the thing you were meant to do in their lifetime, you can actually do rituals like with candles, or like visualizing rituals where you tie a string to each candle and you wait for the flame to hit the string, and then it burns the connection, like it burns the string. And an even more powerful way to do that is for, if you want this connection to be severed, you actually cut the string. But I've realized that if you try and do that with a twin flame connection, you just get karma from that, because you can't actually cut what is part of you. I don't know if I can show this, but it's essentially just saying that there was no inappropriate contact with other people during the time that you were connected, but there may have been like outside of the times that you were actually connected. They have a secret fear that nobody knows about, but somewhere in your life, someone has hired an Etsy witch, and it has given them really bad karmic credit. Oh, whoever's done that, you are being asked to heal. And whoever they've done it to, you are being asked to do a big cleanse. I just did that at the start of this video. I wasn't going to put it in there because I've also warded my name. And that was just like kind of off the cuff warding. I will reward it with a more private spell then, like after this. But whoever has hired this Etsy witch, and I think it's become very clear as well that it's not just anyone who's hired an Etsy witch. It's also anyone who, like I was saying in that group chat thing, you know, if you're plotting against someone, or if you are even like talking about someone, sending the group chat their videos, their content, their photos, their captions, confirmation, screenshots, saying, oh my gosh, this person's delusional. Oh my gosh, this person's in, what's it called? This person's in spiritual psychosis or whatever. That's evil eye, babes. That's evil eye. And you might find yourself going to the hospital. You might find yourself having like almost accidents, you know, car accidents, or maybe a tooth has fallen out, you know, maybe someone around you is sick. I cannot believe that came out. I really, really hope that this did not involve your twin flame, because another thing about twin flames, there's two things. Because usually you meet your twin flame and they're the worst version of themselves, and you're like not a very good version of yourself. And then you meet each other, and then you realize how terrible you are and how terrible they are. But you're like, why do I like this person? And then you start to realize, damn, I really wish that I was more healed. And then you start healing. But whoever starts healing first, they're the one that heals first. And then the one who doesn't, they are like 6 to 9 months behind you. And what they don't realize is that they think that you're doing stuff to them. But what actually happens is when you meet your twin flame, you're supposed to realize not just like how unhealed they are, but you're supposed to realize how unhealed you are. Because when you are unhealed and you're doing all of these things your entire life, you've got all of these patterns, you are building really bad karmic debt. It is not your divine feminine or your twin flame who is hiring Etsy witches or doing spell work on you, idiot. It's because you've gone your whole life before meeting this person, building up really bad karmic debt because of those terrible patterns that you should have realized when you met this person that you are not a very good person right now. So when you meet this person and then you go into separation, their protection over you is taken away. When they really start learning their worth and start detaching from you emotionally, their protection that you've had over them in that period of time, it's gone because they're starting to protect themselves because you won't protect them. And so all of these bad things that are happening to you, it's not because they're doing stuff, it's actually because they've taken away their protection from you, doll. So you either need to learn how to protect yourself and learn how to start correcting the course, not just with this person that you've hurt, but with anyone you've hurt, and also including yourself. There might be a couple of different energies involved in this. You are being asked to be receptive, have empathy for people, be vulnerable, have an open heart. But I'm also seeing this necklace, and anytime like something triggering is going to happen to me, my smoky quartz breaks. And smoky quartz is like a grounding thing. It's like a reminder to ground. And it's very scary when this breaks because it's like the most expensive thing on here. I think it was like $500. And there is this amethyst ring. I think the place is Kerry Rocks. It came in a pack of 2. Wouldn't have been 5. I'm probably exaggerating there. But there is this Okay, something about an Amazon package or a delivery is coming up in my mind. Something about neighbors as well. Okay, anyway, there is an amethyst ring on Kerry Rocks. And I almost bought it, but I think it's a couple thou. Or maybe it's close to a thou. But I don't have any amethyst jewelry. And Kerry Rocks, they did this ring, this smoky quartz. I don't know. But I really want it. And why am I telling you? I'm not entirely sure. Oh yes, because I was telling you about the necklace. Okay, so have an open heart. This might be towards your twin flame. Maybe they've been doing some healing. But someone needs to go to the dentist. Oh, jeez. Okay. They did not mean to hurt you. But to be honest, they don't think of anyone else's feelings. Consider if you want that in your vibe. But you're not meant to know something. You're not meant to know something yet. Oh, I just placed that underneath the no inappropriate contact with other people during your connection. So maybe you're not meant to know if there was any inappropriate contact or not during your connection. Oh God. Okay, so I usually take this card to mean that you feel haunted by someone in love. So it could mean that you're feeling haunted, you can't let go of this person, and you're like, I've tried everything. I've tried letting go, I've tried therapy, I've tried doing the cord cutting rituals, I've spoken to the moon. Why is this person still in my head? Get out. Get out! Or, because this came up with Etsy Witch was hired. Okay, here's the thing. And this is exactly what I said about if you are trying to take on the role of karma, putting people's names in a jar, freezing them, or like, what is it? Like hiring Etsy witches to, make people's skin break out or make people fat. Okay? Karma that's not your role. No one, and also here's another thing. You may be unhealed and you may be unable to see past your ego. So you don't actually know if the person you're doing this karma stuff to actually deserves the karma. Because perhaps it's actually you that deserves the karma in this situation because you weren't able to see past your ego and you actually probably targeted someone who was just living their life. So when you do stuff like that, it actually comes back to you. Just saying. And I bring this up because if you are somebody who is doing love spells on someone, you should never, ever, ever have to... Okay, this is a lesson in like spirituality and witchcraft or whatever, but it's also a lesson in just like, I guess, attachment styles or like just life, okay? It's a general life lesson. If you have to chase something, then it is not yours. It's not yours. And it also means that you don't value yourself. Like, I don't know why I keep trying to lean in. I do that a lot in my videos because the camera's all the way over there because I need to film in landscape for YouTube. Maybe YouTube is important. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, if you if you have to try and do a love spell on someone, it means you're chasing them. And it also means that like you don't think that you have enough value to where you even think you could get this without manipulating the universe or manipulating someone. And it's that should be a sign to you that you should probably go and do some inner work. Like go do some mirror work. What's going on in my head, though? Go do some mirror work. Because like you're insecure. Like what is yours is yours. Like someone doesn't want you, they don't want you. Don't try and manipulate the universe or manipulate them by doing spells. It's a bit much though. I'm not judging because if you have to do stuff like that, then I can imagine the feeling that you've got in like, it's like a desperation or it's that excitement. And maybe you might actually just be addicted to the excitement of it all and not actually addicted to them. Right? Maybe you're addicted to the chaos. That's not good. But anyway, yeah, no one should be ever doing love spells. Love spells, doll. Etsy witch was hired, maybe, and it's causing bad karmic credit and it's asking you to heal. Maybe this isn't about an Etsy witch doing like a curse or something like that. Maybe you've hired an Etsy witch to do a love spell. I'm just saying, that's some sad energy. What was the lessons that came out for you again? Sorry, I want to look at them again and like... Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh. Okay, this is asking me to be kind to you. Okay, I'm not going to judge you for doing this. I'm just going to read out the lessons again. Okay? Lesson 1. Be honest with yourself. You saw the lack of effort that this person gave you from the very start. Your ego, your impatience, and I am going to say your insecurity meant that you accepted this lack of effort. You do not have a right to build resentment towards someone who showed you who they were from the very start and they were emotionally unavailable to you. Okay? Don't go hiring an Etsy witch for a love spell. That's literally you. I'm going to see what these cards are that fell out, but that's literally you chasing. You don't want something you have to chase. Okay, tears are counted. The tears that people give are weighed against them as karmic debt. Again, you should never take it upon yourself to manipulate the universe in any type of way because it's not your job. Whether it's giving someone, whether you think that you're giving someone karma or whether you think that you are getting what you deserve by making them... I'm literally hearing... I've seen videos where people do spells against someone who's done something bad to them. And like, that's your, I'm just saying my opinion. It's your beliefs. You do whatever you want, but this is just my opinion. Where they're making someone who has done something really bad to them, they're making them fall in love with like their cousin or their dad and to be forever bound karmically and romantically and inappropriately to their cousin or their dad. And I don't think that's what's happening here. I don't know why that's coming up for me, but please know that if you think that you have some kind of authority against God or equal to God, that you can create karma for someone, it's going to come back on you. Okay? And then the last one, and I think this is the reason why maybe you feel like you need to do all of this stuff, like put spells on people, hire Etsy witches, and it relates to that secret fear that no one knows about. And maybe this isn't you. Maybe someone's done this to your twin flame and that's why they're not coming in. Like they've hired an Etsy witch, or they've done a spell to make them fall in love with their dad or their cousin. I don't know why that even came up, but it relates to this secret fear that no one knows about. Oh, whoever this is, I hope that they learn about this and go do a cord cutting ritual so that they can fix it. But at the end of the day, whoever it is that's hired this Etsy, whoever it is that's done this spell, remember, those two lessons are important, but at the root of it, it's your insecurity and it's you feeling like they've either wasted a large chunk of your time or you are now too late in life, okay? The lesson is the burnt toast theory does not just apply to your day and being late to work, it also applies to life. You are exactly where you need to be. Now let's see what popped out. Oh. Oh, God. And okay, this relates to a dream that I had. I'm just going to say my dream. I'm not going to say who it was. That means I can't share this card though, because otherwise you'll know who it is. I'm not going to share that one. I'm going to omit their initial, but you should know who I'm talking about anyway, if it's your life. I had a dream last night. I've got it in my book. Hold on. Let me just read it off because this is my dream book. I knew that I had to write this down. Okay. 10/12 might be important for you because today is the 10th of December. And I wrote this down at 6:05. Okay. So I was at a function and there was a girl there. And the connection, like in my life, is that I had a very solid long-term relationship. I've actually had a couple of relationships like this, so you probably wouldn't be able to pick who this is, but there was an engagement and there was a girl there who like was supposed to have been a long-term friend of mine. And in my dream, she was at this function that I was at, and I've long healed past this relationship that ended, but there was third party interference there with a friend. And like I've said in other videos, that seems to be a very long-standing pattern for me, is that I have a lot of friends who have gone for and actually succeeded in taking my man. And yeah, it's whatever. So anyway, in my dream, we were at a function and she was there and she was smirking at me the whole time. And I think I got very triggered by it. I don't think that I would get triggered by it like in real life. But I think they were showing me this dream for you, because maybe you're triggered by this and maybe you are going to get triggered by this at an upcoming function. It's giving work party, like Christmas work party. So you may end up going to a Christmas work party where your ex is there, and maybe a co-worker or a friend is also going to be there. And maybe there's a history there where it was ruined, or you perceive that there was interference there by this girl or this other person, right? But in my dream, this girl was there and she was smirking at me. And I think the smirking at me was trying to trigger me. And it did trigger me in this dream. And I'm standing there with my friends. They're not saying anything. They are aware of everything that I went through. Mind you, this man was not there. It was just this girl that was at my work party. And I remember not screaming, but I remember yelling very assertively. And it wasn't like a scream. It was like just a raised voice, assertive raised voice. He was my fiance and you were my best friend. And I remember her coming closer to me in this dream. I'm still surrounded by all my friends, but again, they're not doing anything. They're just standing there, bystanders. And she's still smirking. She's coming close to me, and her vibes are, I'm not leaving. But she's not saying anything. That's just like her vibe, and she's still smirking at me. And kind of like, you're falling into my plan. And I still was saying over and over, he was my fiance and you were my best friend, over and over and over again. And then my boss walks over to me, and she's just trying to get me to stop saying that over and over again because it's drawing a crowd. And because the girl is still smirking, not saying anything, but her vibe is still like, I'm not leaving, I'm here, people are kind of viewing her lack of reaction as her being fine to be there. But my reaction to what she's done to me as being inappropriate in the situation. And I remember in my dream, I felt frustrated about that because it's injustice. And frustrated that my boss was trying to calm and coo me and maybe even attempt to have me leave the function because I'm saying, he was my fiance and you were my best friend, over and over again. Nothing else happened in that dream but that. But I remember waking up and thinking, because I've been aware of this situation for a very long time, and many people have come to me with information and like screenshots on things, not even just with that most recent person, but with previous people. So perhaps this is going to happen for you. Anyway, I can't remember. This person may have really striking eyes. This person may give off like a fairy vibe, as in like they're very like, they look the part, but they don't play the part, if that makes sense. So that might be important. I almost feel like you don't need to go to your Christmas party, if I'm being honest, because I think someone's going to embarrass you. I think someone's going to try to embarrass you, or it's just going to be embarrassing for you. This card says rushing in, but the imagery on it is very important. The dog. Someone's shady. Someone's wearing a mask. Someone is trying to create confusion for you in love. All right? Somebody is kind of hoping that things remain confusing for you, or hoping that you stay in this realm of not quite trusting your intuition, not quite knowing all of the evidence, or at least not trusting your intuition because you don't have all of the evidence. They're kind of hoping that these things don't come together. And then I've got, oh, hold on. Okay. What they said is not what is actually happening. They are trying to trigger you. Duh, what did I say? And that's literally what happened in the dream. They were trying to trigger me. It's like that smirk that, I don't know why I did this. That's not what she was doing. She was doing more of like a, I don't even know how to do the smirk. It's like the, okay, I'm going to Google an image because I don't know how to make that face. But it's like a look that like a lot of girls do when they have that vibe about them. It's like the, haha, I got you, and nobody knows. Even if you know and I know, nobody knows because I pulled one over. I don't know. Something about wool, something about sheep. I don't know. But it's a certain look. It's a certain face. She did it in my dream. It's like a, no, that's more of a worried look. It's more like a, no, I don't know. I'll Google it. Okay. Anyway, now, I think if you are able to master the art of not reacting and really building your self-worth and your confidence and realizing your value. Because I mean, right now, like whoever this energy is, that is, you know, maybe it is you, maybe it is this other person, maybe it is whoever it is that is hiring Etsy witches, that is doing love spells, oh doll, whoever it is, okay, I think that you are going to get yourself in some big trouble. And I think whoever this person is that you've done this to, they're only going to get stronger from it, especially if they're like a pure-hearted person. Okay, you may think that you've derailed something for them, but you've actually made their life a lot better. You may think that you blew up their life, but you actually allowed them to walk through a fire that they needed to walk through, and they were rewarded very handsomely for it. So you might find that what you did in this situation, while you intended for it to be a bad thing for this person, you were actually meant to do it for them to realize their greatness. But you were also meant to do it because it was meant to teach you that you are insecure, especially if you're doing stuff like this. And you might find that this karmic debt that you're building, like I said at the start of this video, the people that have been doing stuff to me, they've found themselves. And so if you've done this, I don't believe in coincidences. Something may be happening memory-wise, or maybe you're going over memories, but something about memory. But also you might find lungs, something to do with lungs. I know in my other reading, a cancer scare came out, and it was organ. Something to do with lungs, okay? You may find now that when you go over the memory of what you did, and you're starting to connect the dots, stressed out now, oh my gosh. Never meant for things to play out like this. Oh, massive regrets. And it's not the other person's responsibility to save you from that. This, just like you made them walk through their fire, they need to let you walk through your fire. And you need to be able to see the fire for what it is. It's painful, devastating, but there's a lesson in it for you. A big lesson in it for you, clearly. Okay, I'm going to do a once over with the remaining parts of the deck. Anything else that we need to see? And again, I feel like there's multiple energies in this, so I'm not going to say that it's one single person. I'm not saying it's your twin flame. It could be, who knows? It may be someone connected to them. It may be whatever. Someone's got feelings or something to do with roses. Oh, what the hell? Ladybugs. Ladybugs. That keeps coming up. Ladybugs. And then I keep seeing ladybugs. And then in my last video, I filmed it. And like, it was like, I said something like taking a leap of faith. Oh, yeah, take a leap of faith. Do it! What was, that's what I was saying. So, you may have a few people doing different things, and I don't want to say it's any one person. But I think something that there may be a confession of some sort coming, and I almost feel like I'm still thinking, don't go to your Christmas party. Or if you do go to the Christmas party, I want you to be very prepared to not drink alcohol. Oh, okay, yeah. Hecate is watching over this. Hecate is watching over this, or maybe you think Hecate is watching over it, but it's a crossroads type vibe. There are two paths. Literally what I was saying, you can go to your Christmas party or you can choose not to. If you do go to your Christmas party, I want you to be aware of something might happen. I don't want you to drink alcohol, but I also want you to keep your wits about you. I want you to sit in stillness with whatever happens. Though I did just place the card down on a card that specifies abuse that is not, like, I'm talking assault. So I actually don't think that you should go. You should stay home. You should absolutely stay home. Do not go. Don't go. It may not be a Christmas party. It may be an end of year celebration, like a New Year's vibe or something to do with this card is about a third party. So someone trying to, like this whole reading has been saying, like a girl energy trying to get in between something, to insert themselves because they're insecure. But I'm also seeing, like, it came out upside down. So I kind of also feel like it relates to that card that I covered up about not going to this thing because there's going to be someone there that either tries to embarrass you or does something very inappropriate. Don't be drinking alcohol. Don't be doing anything that is going to blind your intuition, your wits about you. Make sure that you have transport home if you do decide to go. Make sure that it is not somewhere where you have to walk alone in the dark. Make sure that I'm almost feeling like I wanted to say make sure that you walk to your car with someone or a group of people that you trust. But in my head, I stopped myself from saying that because I kind of feel like this is almost like a setup, to be honest. And I don't want to scare anyone, but I just don't think you should go. And I just think that if you do decide to go, you need to be so prepared for not even just for what could happen if it does happen, but also very prepared for that reality to come crashing down on you. Even if it doesn't happen and you see that someone tried to make it happen. I wouldn't even be drinking water, I wouldn't even be drinking like an open glass of water around any of these people that you think that you trust. If I were drinking a can like this around them, my hand would be over the can the entire time. But you also need to be very prepared for your reality of what you believed these people were even capable of to come crashing down. That's literally what I had to deal with when, like, you know, the people in that dream, when that all happened. Yes, I had my intuition about it, you know, over the previous 10 years. But I also just didn't trust my intuition enough. And that's what my last video was talking about. Like, yeah, it comes from trauma. It comes from having mother issues, but it also comes from not being okay with setting boundaries because I'm scared to put someone else out. It put me in so much risk of literally this stuff. What's the movement? I'm going to try and get this up as soon as possible. I'm probably not going to be able to edit it very well because it takes so long. But if you're seeing this, there's a reason you're seeing this. Do not go to whatever this is. Health issues. Told ya. Health issues could arise. literally the lung thing, the hospital thing. Okay, someone is still figuring themselves out, like with their sexuality. Relates to an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, like a fire sign. Okay? I'm almost like wanting to pull more cards just for this upcoming vibe. So I think you've got all of the information that you need. Okay, change of residence, moving with your partner or moving away from your partner may be relevant to this situation. This may have caused someone to move out of the home. Or maybe you've moved in with this person, or you used to live with this person, or the girl involved. Something about a home. I really want to pull more cards. But I'm starting to get a big migraine. Let me pull more cards really quickly. And if it's going to confuse the situation, I won't show them. But if it's going to help you with this upcoming thing, I want to tell you. It's some kind of celebration to do with someone involved in a smear campaign. I went through a smear campaign midway through last year. And then it also continued into this year. And it really affected my heart space when it came to my twin flame. Because the only thing I was not very present with this person when I met them, because I liked them so much that I didn't want them to see the stuff online about me. So when I was with them, there was a period of time where I would be like literally in bed with them and like would be like watching movies, or he'd be on his phone like editing a video, and I would be there frantically talking to Meta saying, please, can you remove like this content about me? Because it was all untrue. And it literally like, I wanted to cry when I was there, and I just really wasn't present with this person. Okay. So this smear campaign, I feel like the person I'm talking to, if you're doing like karma spells, love spells to create confusion, hiring Etsy witches, telling people like things that aren't true because you're trying to trigger someone, trying to cause health issues for someone, trying to cause breathing issues for someone, trying to cause stress in their life, trying to get them confused about their sexuality, trying to do a smear campaign against someone, gossiping with others about this person. It literally says stop, uncover the real reason why you are upset. And there are 3 people involved in this. There is a reason. Anyway, you may be someone who had an abusive relationship. That may be part of your like reason why you have done this to this person. Maybe you're channeling your energy into the wrong thing. Or maybe you found yourself in a string of abusive relationships. And however you got involved with this person, it may be undiagnosed ADHD. It may be, like I was talking about in my last video, autism, not being able to read people's social cues and therefore allowing them to continue to do bad things to me. And always being in an air of confusion. I can't pick up this card because of my nails. Something to do with nails may be important. but it seems to be just a running theme for me at the moment. But if you are trying to, oh, far out. Okay, I think we're on the right track here because we just had if you are trying to cause this air of confusion, and like being shady for this person, and causing just so much stuff here, guys, so much. Yeah, maybe you never meant for things to play out like this. Maybe you're having massive regrets now, but it's what you do with it now. I actually can't remember what I was saying. I think memory is a huge thing of this. Someone is looking back on old photos. And this abusive relation, like there is something here that it all comes from the same place for you. And you need to really look at the different layers of life. Yes, it says 7 layers of hell, 7 deadly sins, but it also involves the 7 stages of life. And I did try and get into what that was before, but I literally forgot and then I changed paths. And I'll have to do a full video on this because it's very intricate. But the first level of life is when you're running on survival. It's like when you're a baby, you're born into this world with everything that you need to survive, usually with a caregiver that can help you with that. But you are running off of this idea that all you need is to eat, sleep, and be stimulated and so, be protected. And so you go through life and you think, oh, everything happens to me. Okay, that's the first stage. Okay, most people make it out of that stage. If you've got trauma and you're always in abusive relationships or, whatever, you may still be in the first stage of life. The second stage of life is where you start to realize, actually, I exist and things happen to me, but in conjunction with the people around me. It's the social aspect of life. I exist and I know that I exist because I get feedback from the people around me. So the things that I do, the things that I say, how I dress, what I do and what I don't do, the things that I want in life are based on what I think the people around me are going to give me good feedback on. So it's this idea of if you posted this video and you were I literally had this download last night in the shower because I was thinking about how different my life is now, because I've always been online, I've always been on YouTube. And I used to delete content if it didn't get enough response, because I was like, oh, no one liked it. And then I would get upset and it would reflect heavily on what I thought my value was in this world. Oh, no one thinks that I'm interesting. No one thinks that I'm funny. No one thinks that I'm valuable, and it must just mean that I'm no good. And so I would delete stuff. And I was thinking last night about how I don't care. What's the time? Hello? Oh! I'm so late! How did time... I literally started filming this. I know. Okay, I have to actually speed off right now. What was I saying? Oh, yes. I was thinking last night. I don't care if my video, if my new type of content, because people don't seem to like it, if my new type of content gets 1 view and that 1 view is me, because I still, when I watch over my videos, it's almost like I'm getting messages from my higher self. Because outside of doing these readings, I'm just a different person when I'm doing these readings. I'm so confident and I know the answers. But then when things get quiet and I'm not in touch with my intuition, I go back to that place where I'm like, I'm not loved, I'm not worthy. And that's when I watch back my videos and I'm like, hold on a minute. Yes, you're right, Ellie. You're right. Okay, you do have value. You are insecure. Let's start doing some things to bring ourselves back. Let's start making things right. So, and I'm going to do another video on those different layers of awareness. They're levels of awareness, different stages of life. Whoever you are, whoever I am talking to, you've got yourself messed up in some really, 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 really bad things. Okay, you have built up some very bad karmic debt. And you are going to see your children, your loved ones, your ancestors are going to have to start paying for that, if not you, in this lifetime. All right, so you've got some healing to do. You need to know that the person that you're doing this to, they're not like affected by it really. In fact, the thing that you've put them through has actually helped them grow and receive the things that they probably would never have received had you not done this. So you need to know that I feel like I almost need to do a follow-up video for you later because I literally don't have time. I'm going to make sure that you can't see this card because I don't want anyone to see that. Okay, so I feel like you might be someone who watches me because you don't like me even. And I almost feel like you need to actually keep this video. You may not want to, but you actually probably should. I'm just saying. And you may hate that. You might hate me saying that, to be honest. Okay, lucky it's the end of the year and I don't have any classes. Oh, doll. You may have some health problems arising for you soon. You may have someone trying to embarrass you soon. You may be embarrassed soon. I think there is going to be some information that comes out. And you're going to have to either own up to it or karma is going to get you so, you know, oh, I need to do a follow-up on this at some point, okay? I will try and get this out for you. Anyone who's done stuff like that, even if you've done stuff like that to me, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, dog. I'm not here to save you, all right? Especially if you've not, you know, especially if you've done stuff like that to me. But I also don't want what I can see in my head to happen to you. So I am kind of like, almost part of me is hoping that that's already happened. If it has to happen, I'm not saying that I hope that that's happened to you. I'm saying that I hope the thing that I saw, that I'm trying to warn you about, I hope that this isn't your future, is what I'm trying to say. And I guess I'm wondering if me being shown that was actually your past. I hope that I communicated that in a way that makes sense, because I'm not trying to say, I hope this happens to you. That's not what I'm saying. I release the cards with gratitude, and I thank your ancestors and your spirit guides and your higher self for, you know, giving me this information and trying to guide you. And I hope that you can slow down, heed whatever message they were intending for you to get from this. And I also hope that you can slow down to notice your guides and your ancestors in your own life. I gotta go. See you later. I will do a follow-up, I promise.